So you decided on nutrition, a topic that you love, but now you're facing this one issue. You have no idea how to start and grow a nutrition private practice. Well, in this video, I've got you covered. You've done the hard work. You've decided what topic you want to focus on and how you want to help people, and that's through nutrition. But the problem is you have no idea how this topic of nutrition is going to help you pay the bills. In today's video, I'm going to help show you what it looks like to gain skills in a nutrition business. Because after all, you got to make money, because we want to balance making money with also helping the clients who we intend to serve. I grew my nutrition business skills by starting a private practice while I was working a full-time 9-to-5 clinical dietitian job. My private practice consisted of consulting, teaching, speaking, and workshops, meaning I was providing education and workshopping for families related to nutrition. I grew my nutrition practice and skills on the side of working a 9-to-5, and that's absolutely one way you could pursue it. I learned so much, and I want to share all the skills that I've been able to build with you. One of the most popular questions I get as a business coach helping you improve your nutrition skills is, how do I get started? And what does it look like to grow a successful nutrition business? Well, the first tip is to get clear on your goal. Now, I've created a free guide to show you what that process looks like step by step, so that you have a big picture overview of what it looks like to create that goal. Now, you can grab that free guide, which is linked below. It's a free download, and you can start working through step by step what you need to do to build a successful nutrition practice. You also want to provide value. I was talking to a nutritionist the other day who's also in fitness, and I asked him, what's the problem that you solve? He reached out to me and he really wanted to know if his nutrition business was a viable option and how he could scale it, because he was already making money, but he wasn't sure how to use social media. And he asked me, how do I grow this successful nutrition business? And I asked him, what's the problem that you solve? And his answer was boxing. And I said, interesting. Thanks for sharing that. Can you tell me more? And he said, what do you mean? Boxing is the problem. And I challenged him. I said, can you think about, what does boxing do? I understand that boxing is related to nutrition and wellness, but what's the problem? What's the underlying issue that boxing is solving? And he thought about it and he sat with me and he said, well, I actually think it's hypertension. I actually think it's high blood pressure. I actually think it's weight. I actually think it's diabetes. And I said to him, excellent work. You're thinking about the problem that you solve, because boxing is a solution, but the weight loss, the blood pressure, the chronic disease, now those are the problems that you're solving. So much like this example, I want you to start critically thinking about, what problem does your nutrition business solve? And you can improve your nutrition skills once you connect the problem that you solve with your business. And then you learn how to talk to people about how they describe their problem, and then start using that in your marketing. In order to grow a successful nutrition practice and build your nutrition skills, you're gonna have to focus on relationships. Now, this is something I get a lot of pushback on. Building relationships isn't different online than it is in person. You're still flexing the same muscles. You have to practice active listening, practicing compassion. You're genuinely curious about what people have to say. And if you can translate those skills that you've practiced in person online, you will have a good chance at also building your online presence, which is next on my list. But to stick with the relationship building for a moment, working on your interpersonal skills, meaning your people skills, your ability to relate to other people and talk to them and help them, it's really important when it comes to sales and marketing and anything related to growing a business. And the good news is that interpersonal skills are all learnable. So if you start practicing active listening, if you start practicing engaging in conversations and seeing how much you are letting the other person speak, you'll start to pick up on your skill sets and your ability to really develop better skills. Developing an online presence is a non-negotiable. Let's face it, this is 2023. You might push back and say you don't want to start social media, or you don't want to prioritize it. And I'm here to tell you that if you're not prioritizing social media, your direct competitors are. So everybody's on social media looking for solutions, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, whatever platform we're talking about, people are looking for nutrition solutions. So you can improve your nutrition skills if you find a way to be present online. Now, I'm not saying you need to master all the platforms at once, but you want to choose one platform at a time. Develop a strategy and measure your strategy. and be patient with yourself because there's a lot of skill building that's going to happen as you're learning how to use social media. I have a free checklist linked below called How to Launch Your Private Practice Roadmap. And in that checklist, I walk you through step by step, and you can actually tick off some of the actionable items that I have on the free guide as you're making your way through skill building so that you can grow your nutrition practice. So if you're wondering, well, what do I do next? You just check the free roadmap. If you're wondering where you can find nutrition clients, there's two typical ways: traditional marketing and more modern marketing called digital marketing. Now, we're probably all familiar with traditional marketing. That means billboard ads, trade shows, conferences, doctors' referrals, etc. And where those methods, of course, they can work, the problem with traditional marketing is that there's a cap on how many people you can reach. Think about your local community, especially if you live in a rural area. And if we're talking about billboard ads, that's a method of the past. The way that people interact in the 21st century, again, it's 2023, is through online marketing. So that means any touch point on the internet. I'm talking webinars, email marketing, social media marketing, website, SEO, any modality that functions in the online space. So you can use both. You can use some traditional marketing like referrals, doctors' referrals, word of mouth, conferences, and also tag on some online marketing tactics. But in this day and age, you want to incorporate the two. I want to share a story. When I started my private practice doing consulting and teaching and workshops, I absolutely leveraged traditional marketing. I had referrals. So I worked at a clinical office as a registered dietitian, and I ended up picking up extra hours as a dietitian. And then people asked me if I wanted to do some teaching and speaking. I did teaching and speaking, and people asked me if I wanted to do more. I got in the speaking circuit, and I got more and more jobs because there was this word of mouth effect where people knew that I was a nutrition speaker. From there, I ended up getting hired to build curriculums for nutrition education, and I ended up with a lot of contract positions, teaching workshops, and all of these additional revenue streams that were all built from referrals and word of mouth, which was so great at the time. Problem is that I had a limited reach and I was working a ton of hours. And so in order for me to take my nutrition private practice to the next level, I had to build my skills. And that meant I had to learn online marketing. And the moment that I started leveraging the internet, at that time, it was Instagram and then email marketing and then webinars and website. But let's just stick with the first couple things I did. That was Instagram and email marketing. I was able to replace all of my revenues from my private practice and my 9-to-5 job at that time because using the internet and online marketing had a wider reach. And it's something that I share with you and how you can use the internet and online marketing effectively to reach more people in your practice as well. And you might be wondering, well, how do I make 6 figures? Because you might have heard that that's possible, but it might still feel out of reach. Now, if you want to earn 6 figures, you have to want it. And that's why setting a goal is important. In my free roadmap, I show you what it looks like. What is the journey for those of you in practice who are looking to skill build? And setting that goal is helpful because you have a target, something tangible to work towards. So any of my clients who have achieved the 6-figure mark, myself included, have set a specific goal and looked at metrics towards tracking towards that goal. And some strategic efforts to help you reach that goal are absolutely possible. It's not about spending more time in your business. It's about knowing what to do when you are spending time in your business. And that's where commitment comes into play. So I'm not saying you have to spend 20 hours a week growing your skill set, but you are going to have to dedicate an amount of time towards strategic efforts, like a plan for digital marketing efforts, or a plan for traditional marketing, or a plan to combine traditional and digital marketing. For example, if you're growing your email list, that would be digital marketing, and you're using some in-person connections and speaking, that's traditional marketing. You might combine 2 strategies from traditional and digital marketing to grow your email list to then be able to market and sell an online course that you've created. So that's an example of what efforts can you take that are strategic to grow your skills and start earning money to get your time back as a registered dietitian. Ultimately, you need a clear way to get clients. Is it social media? Are you using traditional marketing? Or are you using a combination of the two? And keep in mind that your methods can change with time. As my story, when I started my private practice, I used traditional marketing efforts as a nutrition consultant. And then with time, as I saw that there was a limit to traditional marketing, I started adding digital marketing efforts. And that's when my business grew. Now, my favorite topic is how can nutritionists make passive income? Now, passive income is all the buzz, and I do specifically mean passive income online, perhaps courses, workbooks, digital downloads, etc. Now, anytime you want to create a passive income product, you have to first think about the problem that you're solving. Specifically, what's the problem that you're solving, and how can you provide a solution and a transformation for the problem that people experience? And the best way to learn about what problems people have are to talk to them. And it might feel a little weird to have conversations with people, and that's where we go back to relationship building, which is an essential skill if you want to grow your nutrition practice. So when you're focusing on listening and honestly being curious about what problems people have, maybe it's related to fertility or weight gain, maybe it's related to sports performance. Whatever the area is, the area of tension where there's a problem, if you show genuine interest and compassion towards what experiences people have related to the nutrition outcome, you have a better chance of building relationships and then learning what kind of content you can create to attract more clients. And when you're discussing people's problems with them, you also have a chance of those people potentially purchasing your products and services. You want to test your process, build it with time, and be open to modifying what you're selling based on what people want. And just keep in mind that the steps related to passive income can take time and absolutely require you to build new skills, such as growing your email list, paying attention to key metrics when it comes to email marketing, like open rates, being mindful of best practices, and also keeping a good attitude, because sometimes nutritionists get really frustrated with technology, and it's understandable, and it's just a skill that we can build with time. Just like learning how to talk to people and when it might feel awkward online. It's all part of the process of learning how to provide solutions to people, become a resource, and learn how to market better. If you want to learn more about email list building so that you can grow passive income to get your time back as a nutritionist, I want you to watch this next video.